Hey, Justin. Right here. No, it's been a long break for you in between fights, the longest of your MMA career. So how have you digested that?
Hey, when you take a loss, lights a fire under your ass. So I've been working, making the right choices to put myself in this position right here, to put myself in a title eliminator fight, and to get that title shot.
Definitely. I mean, I know you said after wars, you like to take time off and things like that, but the title fight wasn't necessarily that. Do you see the upside to this though, and taking a long break and resetting a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, so I fight twice a year. I fought Tony in May, and Habib in October. That's two fights in a 5-6 month time span. So I'm still gonna, on average, fight, twice a year when it comes to my career. This there was a little bit, unclear path to what we were trying to do. With Habib retiring, Poirier taking the the title, the shot against McGregor for the money, which don't blame him at all. So yeah, just he kind of threw things into a little bit of a crazy little awkward thing. So yeah, here I am.
Yeah, and to come back for this, I mean, a fight that a lot of people are looking forward to with Chandler, but in addition to having your two teammates fighting on the same card for titles, what is just the preparation, like the mentality as a whole being like going into this event?
It's been great, man. Rose works out, then Kamaru, then me, and we all get to, take a little bit from each other because we show up early, watch some of that workout. Yeah, it's been great, man. Having two world-class athletes like those two, their work ethic is second to none. They have very different styles, different work ethics, but they're so unique in the way that they work. So it's cool to see, cool to just take what I can from those experiences.
And I'm sure you've got this question already, but is there any pressure to set the tone or anything, or do you think just you being who you are, that's something that happens automatically?
Yeah, I think it's similar to wrestling my whole life. A dual tournament, a dual match. You go out there and your job is to win, but almost just as important is to inspire the rest of your team to perform. And that is, I'm embracing that. That's something that takes me back to my roots.
Have you seen Colby around? I know you've said he's one of the most despicable people in the world. Only pedophiles and murderers are worse.
I don't know if that was my quote, but that's a good one.
I think it was. But any beef with him? I mean, obviously you're just rooting for your guy.
I'm here to get a paycheck, and I'm not here to take a paycheck out of Kamaru's bank account. I don't want to fight him. So, yeah, no. I have a job. It's Michael Chandler. It's the only guy I get paid to fight this week, so that's the only guy I'll be fighting.
And what do you think this kind of does for you in the division? I know you said on Betted that it's guaranteed title shot. Is that something someone at the UFC has told you, or is that just your belief?
No, that's my belief. Yeah, I'm number 2. Yeah, who else? There's absolutely nobody else. So, yeah, if not, we riot.
Who do you expect to face, Poirier or Oliveira?
I hope Poirier, because I want to exact my revenge. That's one of the most human traits, is wanting to exact revenge on somebody that has beaten you, especially in this sport. There's not many times you get that opportunity. So, yeah, that would be a great chance. But, Oliveira brings such a crazy style to the cage. I think for me, that would be a great matchup.
And obviously, you had the loss to Eddie and to Habib, but it seems like that Poirier fight really has kind of a special place because it seemed like the turning point that allowed you to become that guy who went on that run for the interim title.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's the only path I have to revenge. He's beat Poirier, or he's beat Alvarez. So with that, I can get both those fights back. I will never get the Habib fight back, and I'm okay with that. He's gone.
Justin, earlier Michael was out here and he was paying you respect. He said he really enjoyed you. He thinks you're one of the most fun guys to watch in the sport, but you haven't exactly been secret that he kind of gets on your nerves. I'm curious, has that sort of faded as you got close to the fight or gone high?
Yeah, that was just in that one interview, yeah. I don't know the guy that well. I like the way he fights. There's not a lot of bad things that I could say. At the end of the day, he's trying to take everything from me. He's trying to take the money off my table. He's trying to take the opportunity off my table. He's trying to take my title shot. So, yeah, I don't like him because of that. That's the only way that it's personal.
I feel like when people look at this fight, they kind of expect it almost to be like turning on a blender and just having chaos for a little bit and then one of you walking out the winner. Is there a chance in your mind that it doesn't look like that?
Yeah, I think so. I think, yeah, I mean, these guys watched Habib. They saw him take me down. Many guys have tried to take me down in my career. He was the one that was successful, so maybe they see a path to victory there. I do think he's a smart guy, and I do think that he thinks he would be smart to try to turn this into a wrestling match for the first round or two. And so, yeah, that would, if he was successful there, which he will not be, then it could suck, but not going to happen.
He said earlier that your leg kicks are obviously amazing, but he said your punches aren't that special. But obviously in your last few fights, your punches have been pretty special. You put a lot of guys away. Are you surprised he has that attitude?
Yeah, I have 22 fights, 19 knockouts, 22 wins, 19 knockouts. I've knocked him out with my hands and my legs. So yeah, whatever. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I knocked. No one had ever finished Barboza. I put him out cold. Same with a few other guys. So I don't know how where that would come from.
You mentioned the wrestling there. I'm curious what you made of Islam's performance the other day.
Yeah, it was impressive. It sucks for Dan. Late replacement. He wasn't the guy coming off a full camp preparing for Islam. That's what that was.
And following that, what did you make of Daniel Cormier's performance in the post-fight interview?
It was incredibly biased. Yeah.
Do you think that's going to be a problem coming up with these guys? As fighters retire and become commentators, they still have teammates in the sports. They're going to kind of find it harder and harder to put aside that bias.
At the end of the day, I love Cormier. I don't, I felt it was my job that night to tweet and call it out because that's what I saw. Outside that, it doesn't matter. I think he knows that he should be in an unbiased mindset when he's doing this, and that probably, I would hope that that's important to him.
Thank you.
Justin, to your left over here. Would you say that you've significantly improved your wrestling since the Khabib fight?
I would say, I'm a wrestler. I've wrestled my whole life. You guys watched that fight, and he got me down twice. It looked easy. I stopped a lot of his takedowns. Not a lot of people have stopped any of his takedowns, and I stopped, for the whole first round, for the first 4 minutes and 30 seconds. I was able to keep him off of me. I've certainly embraced it more. I've gone back and I've worked a lot more since that day. I've done a lot more grappling, that's for sure. Mostly for the cardio. It's a different cardio, and yeah, I need to be confident in my ability to wrestle and then stand up and fight.
In terms of exciting matchups, where would you say that Chandler ranks among all the fellow exciting guys you've fought?
I'd say it's one of the most exciting. I don't think anybody has, no one's as explosive. He comes balls to the wall for the first round. Not many fights has he not done that, and so that's what I'm expecting. That's what I'm hoping for. He doesn't want to sit back and let me fight at the pace Tony Ferguson let me fight at, because I can do that all night. So yeah, he's going to have to make it a firefight, try to get me tired. One of us is going to get tired. Most of these fights, you guys have watched this for a long time. It's come down to who's quitting, who's got more will to go on and continue, and that I can see that becoming a factor on Saturday night.
And in regards to those wars that you've had, is there one that stands out to you as the most fun that you've had in there?
The most fun? I was the most terrified of Edson. Growing up, when I was in college, wrestling, before I ever thought I'd fight in the UFC, I was watching this dude spinning back kick and take people to the shadow realm. I remember playing poker with my guys. I fought in World Series, and he fought somebody, and I think it was when he fought Benil Dariush. We were watching it playing, and I told all the guys, I'm going to fight that guy one day, and everyone's like, you're crazy. I was like, no, I'm going to fight him. And then, we got lined up against Edson. I was like, oh, shit. What the fuck am I doing? And then, to go out there and knock him out, and, I was a better leg kicker than him. My distance management was better. And, I was able to land that shot and put him out. And that was a fun night for me.
Best of luck, Justin.
Thank you.
That's right. It's no secret that Kamaru used to train at Sanford with Michael Chandler. Michael was in here. He said he's still very friendly with Kamaru. He considers him a friend. He just happens to be your teammate now. But did you have to have a conversation with Kamaru about hey, I'm not looking for any secret sauce that Michael Chandler may bring?
No, there's no such thing as secret sauce. You got to be perfect for this one's 15 minutes. Usually it's 25. The only thing we talked about when it comes to fighting is the fact that I've had about twice as many 5-round fights scheduled as Kamaru so far. So, yeah, I'd be a fool to try to take, I don't even know what the hell you call it, take advice from him to expect things that are going to happen. If it's so fast. You're dealing with less than seconds and less than centimeters. So none of that matters. I have to be perfect, be my best self. And if he could beat that, then more props to him.
Hey, Justin, right here. So I think you've made it very clear you were waiting for the right opportunity, and even if you'd wanted to stay active. But I was wondering, just you're pretty hot right now. You've been one of the top lightweights. Is there anywhere you're like, I didn't fight for a year. This is a year of my athletic prime and all that. In the fight game, was there any just like worry about that? Because that's a long time to be off at a time when you're at the top of the game.
Yeah, no, not necessarily. There were things that needed to be corrected, and I needed time to do that. So, again, a loss like that will light a fire under any competitor's ass, and that's what it did for me. I went there and I started to work. So I think I needed it. Hired a nutritionist, a chef. There's a lot of things I've done different. The older I get, the less forgiving some things are. So, yeah, I got to take the time, take care of the body. And, again, I fought 2 times in a 5-month period. So, I had this break was somewhat natural.
You, Benil Dariush, Islam, all managed by the same guy, all of you guys in the same weight class and doing very well. What can you tell me about how Ali does approach you guys about sorting all that out? Because obviously you got to do your thing, but, there's almost like a conflict a bit.
Yeah, I've never talked to him about it. Never brought it up. Never had it brought up to me. He works for me and he works for them, but they're different businesses. So yeah, he needs to run each one accordingly. I don't know. If I would have seen him being like, yeah, DC, I agree, then yeah, I would probably have been pretty fucking pissed off. But he knows that wouldn't be the professional thing to do. He's a great manager. He's a professional, and loyalty runs a long ways. And I've probably been with him the longest, so we'll see. We'll see how this goes. I'm number 2. He's Benil's number 3. I love that dude. Islam's number 5. Like that dude.
Hey, he wins, you get a title shot.
Who?
You win.
Oh, I know that. Yeah, exactly. Or we riot, and he's right next to me rioting. So it is what it is. I trust that. I trust that if I was to get snubbed this time, that he would go to war with me like we need to.
100%.
Nice jacket.
Thank you.
Justin over here on your right.
So you had a few after the Poirier loss, which was only the second loss. Obviously, he's not good as well. You changed quite a bit defensively in how you seem to approach fights. So it was a lot more educated in terms of not just walking through the strikes to land your own, but to evade and to obviously still hit the opponent. Can you talk more about some of the changes you made after that fight to where you are now?
Yeah, I think both of those to Eddie Alvarez and to Dustin Poirier, there were very similar instances in which I lost. And they were exactly what you explained. My mindset was, let's see who could take more, And once I took those shots and understood that you cannot let these guys that are this good hit you, at certain times, then, defense becomes more of a tactic. So yeah, it's something that coach was trying to instill. And honestly, with the footwork that we have worked since day one, I was always able to do that, but my mindset did not allow me to. And so yeah, now with experience, you make better choices. So I think I'm just making better choices.
Hey, Justin, you keep saying it lit a fire under you after the loss to Khabib. Do you ever think about, the months after, will he retire or come back, or was he just retiring in the ring and then he'll come back? Do you ever think about if he did, would you want that rematch? Does it weigh a lot on your mind, that loss to Khabib? And do you think a win here would put that behind you for good?
I mean, that's a lot of ifs. He did retire, so yeah, the ability to move on is much easier. If he was still here, would I want to fight him? Still, absolutely. But that's just not the case. And this is the most important fight in my career right now. With this, I get a title shot in the fight to be the number 1 dude in the world at 155, and that's all that matters.
Okay, and Eddie Alvarez predicted that you will knock out Chandler in this. What's your prediction for the fight?
I don't know. Someone's getting 50,000. I don't know if both of us or one of us, but someone will.
Justin over here on your right. So we've heard you say a lot this week that you're going to get a title shot if you win this fight. And even Michael Chandler said he had his doubts about that. He didn't know if the UFC told you that specifically or if you assumed that in your own head. Has the UFC given you any indication that you'll get a title shot, or your manager, Ali?
If he's talking about himself, then I could see that. I mean, even if he wins, they probably won't give him a title shot. I could see that, but that's just because it was perfect. The only reason he got the first one was perfect timing. Perfect timing. But yeah, I don't know. I think I already said it. If I don't get the shot, we riot. We go to war. I have to be biased when it comes to this, and I'm not going to be around here for much longer. So if I was to get snubbed again, yeah, I have to do something about it. Whether that's cause a ruckus, but I'll just let my manager do his job. I got the best manager in the game, so he knows. We all know what's supposed to happen if I get this win on Saturday night, and so hopefully you all ride with me.
All right, thanks, Justin.